creative people. Matthew here with Gear Sounds, and today we're covering all of the flutes in the GM-800. Let's zoom in to the screen there. So this is the browse screen. You can easily get to this by hitting any part number and then clicking on knob number 1 right here. And that'll take you into this section. And I've mentioned this before, but for those who are new, category on the left-hand side gets us to the flutes. That first flute has a vibrato on it. Let me explain how I'm going into this Cube Street EX here. So we got the right-hand channel is going into the line in, and that's going into the right-hand speaker. And the left-hand channel is going into the instrument channel with a little bit of reverb as of right now. That intro had no reverb. This has reverb now. Take a listen. Reverb off. Reverb on. So it's mixing together with this dry signal. So that's how I like it. And then I also have the guitar signal optional if I want it. Oh, that's a little loud. Let me turn that down. That has delay and reverb on it too. Always gonna have that. I think it's necessary to have guitar, at least with melodies like that. So with chords, maybe not. Maybe you do want. I mean, for a flute, this whole thing is really going to be single note melodies because that's the illusion of playing a flute. You did hear me play like a single note with some notes like, but to me that's like maybe 2 flutes. But the moment you start playing 3 notes, what do you have? Maybe a 3 flute choir or a 6 flute choir? Like, listen to this. That starts to sound less like a flute and more just like a pad because they're all blending together, right? So for the flutes, at least for this episode, I'm going to be doing single notes. And every single one of these instruments, you're going to want to play it differently if you want to mimic the real instrument. Little glitch there. If you let any, I wouldn't say mistakes, but any transient noise come through, it's going to translate through the synthesizer in a bad way. This one's nice. This kind of sounds like a, almost like a tribal flute or something. Like a Native American flute, kind of. Yeah, the reverb really adds a lot. Without the reverb, sounds like there's a little bit of delay in there. There's no delay in the amp, so that's definitely in the patch. But the reverb helps a lot, especially since it's only on one channel. So this one sounds bad with the ratio that I have it right there, because the flute just sounds fake. But if you bring the guitar down a little bit, maybe. mistake there. You could hear the note was that, but the note that the flute was playing was wrong. Not bad. Not bad. All right, next we got Pan Flute 1. Oh, whoops. These knobs over here. Okay, so these two knobs. Hey, what's up, Rant Man? Haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the channel. These two knobs are going to cycle through the categories, and these two knobs are going to cycle through the tone numbers. So, my mistake. We were on Pan Flute 1 right there. And the tracking will be better the better you set it up to. So, I stuck this thing right up against the bridge on my G&L, and it is essentially as far back as it can go. So, ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's good. That's fun. These are the ones that kind of mimic real instruments, so you have to play it single note again. Rayman says, I'm the guy who wanted to connect the GM-800 with my Helix floor. Great idea. That you wouldn't be a strange guy for doing that. I've connected mine to the RC600, and while connecting it to a looper isn't technically unusual, the RC600 has so many effects in it that it's essentially a multi-effects pedal. And for that reason, that is an unusual setup, because a bunch of multi-effects guitar with synth, I mean, you'd think it wouldn't work, but if you saw my last video, I think I made it work just fine. So with the guitar tone coming through, you can hear if there's a tracking issue. You hear it right away. It's kind of cool, that tone. Anyways, moving on. This flute probably sounds similar. Oh, that one's more epic. See, now that starts to sound like guitar when I start to do stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's disobeying the rules, really, right? I can do that. But it starts to sound less like the instrument and more like a guitar synth, right? But if you... Whoops. Now it's a much more convincing flute, right? What about this piccolo over here? The Helix is far superior to the RC600 for effects, but of course way better for looping. I'd like to get an RC600 eventually. It's cutting out your chat. I'd like to get an RC600 eventually, but with the Helix being almost 3,000 Canadian, the GM-800 1,000, and the RC600 another 1,000. Yeah, that's quite the rig, but there is also the Helix Stomp, right? That has like, I think 2 pedals or 3 pedals. But the truth is, multi-effects is, despite what Bob over here thinks, multi-effects are getting great. The newer multi-effects units especially, I mean, it's always that way. Not sure how that Canadian translates to American, but inflation is killing us all. Somebody said, left a comment, they wanted me to try to break the synth. Basically, like, try to palm mute with it. Let's see what happens. So let me show you here what I'm palm muting, because this is actually interesting. This is the just a left hand mute, right? Kind of silly, but it gives you an idea of the fact that those transients are actually going to do something, and that's good to keep in mind if you actually want accuracy. Because of the fact that it's treating every sound like a note, it's trying to process everything. It doesn't have any way to reject it. So and it takes a lot of processing power to do so. So because of that, palm mutes are just accidentally muting something or just hitting kind of a string noise will translate into a note sometimes. And if that information is more dominant than your actual note, then you know what's going to happen, right? So slides don't sound as natural with the flutes. A little light touch, like a dance, like kind of like, just like this. So for guitar, it would sound like. As opposed to notes that are more like this. Right, the dancing little gives you that more natural flute tone, right? So that's what I'm going to do for a lot of the rest of the video, given that, to me, that's kind of like discovering the secret. Like, once you discover the exact way to play that instrument, then you can get convincing tones out of the synth. It's a lot more about how you play it. Than what you play, right? So. I just played the same exact melody line twice, but the first one sounded better because it sounded more like a flute. Versus. Although that sounds nice too. Again, it sounds like a pad altogether. Oh, interesting. Let me turn off the reverb on the amp so you can hear this echo that's built into this patch. Remember, there's reverb on inside this pedal. So you got reverb. You got actually a couple effects in here. Reverb, delay, I think phaser and chorus, and some other ones inside the GM-800. I don't really use those because it's kind of hard to set them up. It's not as easy as pressing a pedal down here. I mean, you could set it up that way, but to me, the RC600 is where I'm using that stuff. So. meow, meow. I think that's the glide of it trying to resolve a note that's lower. What would a finger tapping do? Okay. About as bad as I thought. Sounds nice. It sounds cool though. Okay, I'm gonna turn the reverb back on since these don't have enough reverb. Yeah, the guitar is not mixing as well with the flute as I would like. I feel like the guitar mixes better with just straight pads, better than it's mixing with this flute right now. But you can't win them all. Okay, you just can't. I would like the flute to sound great with everything, but I'm not going to force it if it doesn't. Slightly altered version of that other patch. So you can hear the effects on the GM-800 itself are not bad. They're not bad at all. I mean, you have a pretty powerful processor on board, so you're gonna get utilization of that. And to me, that's the future of effects pedals, is going to be just a platform like this, heavy processing power, and then like the advertising point is going to be like up to 4 effects at once, or up to 18 effects at once, right? And it's, I don't know, $3,000, $5,000. But the amount of effects on at the same exact time is essentially limited by the processing power. I saw a pedal at NAMM I'm going to show you guys pretty soon, where it shows you how much processing power each effect is using. And then it's not limited by the number of effects. You can actually have more effects if they use less processing power. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, moving on. Let's hear that delay again. Hear that little bloop, 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 bloop. That little glitch means it's time for the next patch. So this one sucks. You can tell they just put a different tonality on something and they're like, that's the bottle blow. No, that's just a flute with a different EQ on it. I can hear that that's not even a new... moving on. Oh, wow. Bottle blow W. In case you didn't get enough. Bottle blow delay. When have you ever blown on a bottle and it sounded that good? Come on. All right, I'll give it that. The delay one sounds kind of good. I can't tell if I made a mistake there or if that was the synth. Maybe it was me. So again, that short kind of plays the strength to the flute, because if you listen to the guitar notes, it sounds strange on guitar. You wouldn't really play guitar like that unless you're trying to accentuate a part of the solo, but sometimes for synth, if it's that instrument, you do have to play that kind of the whole time. Because if I start playing long notes, on that instrument, notes don't bleed into each other. It's impossible. They're a note, and then it stops. There's like a breath of air, and then it's nothing, and then it's the next note. So that's why you get this kind of... Okay, that one has some flavor to it. I think the delay is making it what it is. I don't think it's just the fact that it has that tone. Okay, so what is this one? This is Shakuhachi. Am I reading that right? I think so. Oh, that's cool. That's got a different tonality to it. So it doesn't really translate my vibrato at all. It does that kind of vibrato tone no matter what I do. Watch. And then my vibrato won't do anything until I get to the next note. That's kind of cool. Again, I don't think the guitar tones are working very well today. I'm doing my best to get them to work, but some of these don't sound good with guitar. I guess the flutes are one of them, because it's just such a distinctive tone. I guess I don't know why. Somebody who a better sound engineer than me can tell me why. What would chords sound? Let's do some chords just for the hell of it. again, that the lack of vibrato kind of makes it less fun to express it. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. So, Shakuhachi amp. Kind of just has a little more oomph to it. So let's finish it off with something fun here. Okay, so maybe not the best tone on the GM-800, but hey, it's a usable tone for sure, especially in those single note melodies like I mentioned earlier. So we've gone through about half of what's available in the pedal. So man, we've still got another 6 or 7 of these episodes to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you want to see next in the GM-800, what I should combine with it, and what pedals in general I should be looking out for. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye for now.